back on topic, the Ravens. I don't think there's a team roster-wise in the AFC like the Ravens. I don't think the Ravens are missing any piece. I think from the offensive line perspective, they're stout. Quarterback, MVP.
Yep.
Running back, future Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Tight ends, next level. Defensive line, check. Linebackers, top 2 linebacker in all of football. Cornerbacks may have the best cornerback tandem, including the nickelback in all of football. Safeties, so long as Malachi Starks is who we expect him to be, they have the best safety tandem in football. And at minimum, they have a top 2 safety in football in Kyle Hamilton. If there's a missing piece, maybe they don't have a wide receiver one.
They know maybe they don't.
Maybe. Yeah, okay, fair. I know I was trying to be a little softer. It is the 4th of July. The missing piece could be wide receiver one. Zay Flowers, you got to show me something. Rashad Bateman, you got to show me something. D-Hop, you got to show me you can still be a game impactor, a game changer. You got to show me you can still manipulate a defense. So maybe wide receiver one, fine, I'll give you that, Will. But outside of that, I think the Ravens are stacked. Do you think they have any missing pieces?
Yeah, I'd say definitely stacked in terms of the roster. I would say 90% complete if we're saying like a complete roster. Yeah, they definitely don't have a true bona fide number 1 wide receiver. And we can sit here and argue and say the Steelers, the Ravens in history have never had a true bona fide number 1 wide receiver. The first receiver ever to go to the Pro Bowl is who?
Zay
Flowers. First receiver ever in Raven history to go to the Pro Bowl is Zay Flowers.
Crazy.
Never had it. So that's a big thing. I understand D-Hop coming over. It's not the same who he was. Still is going to be effective and beneficial for them. And then, let's state the obvious. There's going to be an issue. They're going to have a kicking battle this offseason for obvious reasons, right? A kicking battle. So comes down to it. These AFC North games usually come down, to a field goal sale. So are they going to have a kicker? And then let's go to the offensive line. Obviously, Stanley and Linderbaum are obviously certified. Got one of the best centers. I can't believe he's the highest pair or not. He's one of the best centers. Stanley, obviously, outstanding tackle. But then everyone else, we don't know. We're still concerned. How is that starting? Are they going to be able to protect Lamar? So I think right now, not having a bona fide number 1 wide receiver, Zay can be that guy. I have no doubt. My BC guy is outstanding. But that's the biggest thing I have concern with.
In what world is Zay Flowers not wide receiver 1? I mean, this team was stacked with talent last year. Talent was not the problem. I mean, people can't make up their minds with the Baltimore Ravens. I made a Ravens video the other day, and I kind of explained what I think they need to do, and people were like, they were perfect, they were great, what are you talking about? They were the first in offense and third in this and that, and then it's like, okay, and you didn't win. How did that work out in the playoffs? How did that work out in 2023? So, because I said, like, oh, I want to see less highlight plays from Lamar Jackson and have him just kind of, work within a system more smoothly. Because ideally that'll translate to more wins in the playoffs and in big games. That I feel as though a lot of these big games and playoff games, it's just like the game plan just gets completely thrown out, and then it's just kind of like, hey, everyone, try your best. And it's just like, that does not work in the playoffs, man. It consistently does not work. I've been doing all these recent videos, a lot with Patrick Mahomes and the 13-second game and overtime. And the biggest thing that stood out to me is that everything was set up. Every single thing was set up. Patrick Mahomes gets all the credit. And the reality is we're not going to turn this into a whole Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. And so Kansas City Chiefs fans, save it. Go comment on the other video. That's not what this is about. But it was just so clear that it was a team effort. It was a coaching masterclass. Yes, Patrick Mahomes was great in those moments, but it was just there for the taking. I mean, people remember the 13-second game and overtime and some of these other key moments, even recently in their AFC Championship games or, against the Buffalo Bills. You can see that it's all within the system, all within the game plan of what Andy Reid is looking to do with that offense. It's not just Patrick Mahomes, please be magical for the next 2 quarters and bring this home for us. That's not what it is. And yet these key Baltimore Ravens games, that's what it so often turns into. And it's not sustainable because when you keep relying on that magic, it runs out. It just can't go on forever. It's like luck. If you just keep winning by luck, luck runs out. And so so it's just like, I don't look at the Ravens and be like, oh, they got missing pieces, or they don't have a wide receiver one. Like, of course they do. Of course they do. And that offense is great. And they are more of a run first team, obviously. And they have a relentless attack with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. I mean, this team really so much comes down to execution, which is why what I said in my previous video of like, I want to see everything feel more like when they're winning, that it just feels like, again, everything is just part of the game plan. That it's just less so free and loose. Because that's just how you kind of get yourself into trouble. And it's just like, I don't look at DeAndre Hopkins as now like a missing piece. This team was never missing anything. They just weren't. They should have won in 2023. They absolutely could have won in 2024. There was no missing link. What was the missing link when they lost to the Raiders last season? When they lost to the Browns? Like, what was their missing link? It did not exist. Like, that's what I get frustrated by comments like this. But then on the flip side, I get frustrated by the comments that are just pretty much like, Ravens are perfect. What are you talking about? And it's like, obviously not, or they would have been winning in the playoffs. And I reject the whole idea of like, oh, well, they're perfect, but then like Lamar just chokes. It's like, well, that's not the story either. It is interesting. We do get such messy conversations around this team. More so than the Bills, more so than the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Bengals. It seems like people kind of struggle to they can't decide where they want to put the Ravens, where things go wrong. It's pretty interesting to me. It really is, because it's you get wildly different views. You get some people that are just like, oh, the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, he's choking. And then you get other views where it's like, no, it's the coaching. Then you get other people that are like, no, everything, this team is amazing, they're perfect, but they just can't beat they just can't beat the Chiefs. And it's like, well, then how does that make it? Are you saying that Patrick Mahomes is just better than Lamar? And then it's just like, it just seems like it could be sometimes tricky to have like constructive conversations around this team, because there definitely is a very protective fan base around Lamar Jackson. And that's where I'll just kind of reference the Philadelphia Eagles again. And it's just like, you can have it both ways. You can still criticize your own team, expect more, criticize your coaching staff, the players, whatever it may be, and still love your team, still defend your quarterback and whatnot. But you still have to have the honest conversations. But this idea that this team, that this roster, like, think about it. They're tied with the best odds to win the Super Bowl. And we want to say that this team has been missing a link, a missing piece. They made great decisions last year. Getting Derrick Henry was an awesome move and not an obvious move at all. Getting Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley for both the Ravens and the Eagles, respectively, was not an easy no-brainer. You had many, 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 many people say, why are you doing this? This is wasted money. And it wasn't. It was beast. It was beast. And then again, Zay plays awesome, but because of the way how their offense is run, right, he doesn't have 1,800 yards and 18 touchdowns. Okay. Well, Jamar Chase did, and it did not lead to wins. So it's just, they have obviously a more balanced attack. Lamar himself takes on a lot of that offense, not to mention, of course, Derrick Henry, who had nearly 2,000 yards or whatnot. And that's okay. It's similar. It's very similar to AJ Brown and Devontae and what they deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. But it doesn't reduce Zay from not being a bona fide number one wide receiver. Like, that's what I don't really understand. He's a Pro Bowler, but not a wide receiver one. I think my guess is it's because Zay is just a little bit smaller of a receiver. So he's just feels less imposing on the field, which then makes you feel like he's not the number one. Kind of like a AJ Brown versus Devontae, where it's just like one just looks the part so much more than the other. But they're obviously both beasts in their own right. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you always want better wide receivers, right? Like every team will be better with a Justin Jefferson or something. I mean, that's fair to say, but it's just like what else what else do you need from this team? I mean, seriously, from a roster construction, this team has everything you could possibly ask for. So, I give a lot of pushback on that, honestly. And I mean, yeah, and that is where I will say, kind of like, it's like I look at Patrick Mahomes, and I made those videos being like, stop pretending like he hasn't had help. He's got Travis Kelce, and then even the years with Juju and stuff, and all of that. And it's like, when you think about what you have from a defense perspective, an O-line perspective, weapon perspective, like Lamar Jackson also has Derrick Henry. I mean, like, Derrick Henry was an absolute monster. I mean, like, that alone is such a massive force multiplier that it's like, even if you want to say, well, someone else has a better wide receiver, it's like, okay, but they don't have someone better than Derrick Henry. So it's just, I don't know. I was kind of thrown off by this take, honestly. I really do think that they have an incredibly complete roster. And yeah, I think, as per usual for the Baltimore Ravens, it's going to come down to execution. Execution, and do they have the correct game plan, and do they stick to the game plan in the biggest games, in the biggest moments? Specifically the playoffs. That's what it gets boiled down to. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Baltimore Ravens? Do you think they have any missing pieces? Do you think DeAndre Hopkins is that missing piece? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.